Ford started at the beginning of the last century with 4 wheels and a running board. 1908 was the birth of American car culture. That same year, General Motors was formed in Flint, Michigan. It wasn't until 1925 when the Big Three was complete with the formation of Chrysler Corporation.
When the Big Three emerged, they not only emerged as, rivals that really gave Americans much better automobiles at the time, but they also cemented the American automobile as a world standard.
As goes General Motors, so goes the nation. That phrase defined America's economic power for much of the last century.
So many folks were employed either at General Motors or the other 2 major car makers, making steel and all the other components that go into cars. It just meant that if the automobile companies were prospering, the country was prospering too.
Today, there are 74,000 rank-and-file GM workers in the U.S., but in its heyday, GM was the largest industrial company in the world, a technology leader. By 1979, 600,000 people worked for GM. Those good jobs helped build America's middle class.
It also allowed us to migrate out from the cities, to have that corner lot in a suburb, to basically get away from a lot of the congestion of the metropolitan areas.
General Motors was the company that revolutionized what we drove, how we thought about our cars, and how we paid for them. GM invented auto loans and the model year. It was the first to hire designers instead of engineers to create new car concepts. Think big fins and chrome of the 1950s and 60s. And everything changed. Ford adopted flashy fins with the Ford Fairlane, as did Chrysler with the popular DeSoto. Automobiles from the Big Three put their stamp on popular culture, from music to movies to television. What's considered to be the first rock and roll song ever recorded was Rocket 88 by Ike Turner, about a GM product.
Baby, we'll ride in style.
The Pontiac GTO, considered by many to be the first true muscle car, was showcased in a song by Ronnie and the Daytonas.
Little GTO.
The Corvette on Route 66. The 1948 Ford in the iconic movie 3. The Trans Am in Smokey and the Bandit. And Archie Bunker's Old LaSalle.
G.R.O. LaSalle ran great. Those were the days.
So what happened? How did the wheels come off?